NVIDIA. Seems like it's everywhere you turn these days.
Right.
It's the company everyone's talking about overtaking Microsoft, a stock price that's like skyrocketed, what is it, 187% this year? Crazy.
Yeah.
You sent this article in, so you're obviously as intrigued as we are. But what's fueling this, I don't know, this meteoric rise? Is it just hype, or is NVIDIA really onto something, game-changing?
Well, I think what's really interesting here, right, is that NVIDIA's success is, how do I put this? It's fundamentally intertwined with the explosion of AI.
Okay.
And I'm not just talking about the software side of things.
So it's more than just clever algorithms and lines of code, that sort of thing.
Exactly, exactly. The real magic, it happens because of the hardware.
Okay.
Specifically, NVIDIA's dominance in, what are they called? Graphics processing units, GPUs, right? You got it. You see, these GPUs, they're the engine powering these complex calculations needed for AI models to actually function. They've essentially cornered the market, boasting, I get this, a staggering 67% market share in AI hardware.
67%.
It's huge.
That's like having a monopoly in the world of AI. No wonder everyone's sitting up and taking notice. But okay, so what makes NVIDIA's GPUs so special? Why are they the go-to for all things AI?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it? NVIDIA's GPUs are designed with this, well, a specific architecture that allows for what's it called? Massively parallel processing.
Massively parallel process.
Yeah, imagine it like this.
Hmm?
Instead of having one super fast calculator, you have thousands of slightly slower ones all working together at the same time.
Okay, right.
This parallel processing power, it's what makes GPUs incredibly efficient at handling those massive data sets and complex computations required by AI, much more so than traditional CPUs. And NVIDIA, with its years of experience in graphics rendering, was perfectly positioned to capitalize, to really take advantage of this need.
So they were already ahead of the curve when the AI boom hit.
Precisely. And this brings us to the magnitude of that boom. Analysts are predicting the AI market could reach, get this, a staggering $500 billion by 2027. Now, imagine that market as a pie, right?
Okay.
And NVIDIA, with its 67% market share, is holding the biggest slice.
Wow.
It's not just about being in the right place at the right time. It's about having the technological, prowess to dominate the game.
So to recap, we've got this perfect storm brewing. A company with cutting-edge technology, perfect timing, aligned with an industry experiencing explosive growth. No wonder investors are practically throwing money at them.
Yeah, and it's not just investors.
Oh.
There's a particularly fascinating trend emerging that speaks volumes about NVIDIA's perceived importance. Even politicians are getting in on the action.
Wait, politicians are buying NVIDIA stock?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like your typical headline.
You're right, it's not. What's fascinating is that it's not just one side of the political aisle. We're talking about figures like Nancy Pelosi and Marjorie Taylor Greene, known for their drastically different political stances, both buying NVIDIA stock.
That's quite a statement. So it's not just about, making a quick buck. It suggests what, like a shared belief in the potential of AI, with NVIDIA, obviously, at the forefront. But this kind of bipartisan enthusiasm, that's pretty unusual, to say the least. What do you make of it?
It's certainly a strong signal that AI is, it's no longer this niche technology. It's becoming a central part of our economic and geopolitical landscape.
Yeah.
And the fact that politicians from such different backgrounds are investing, well, it suggests they see NVIDIA as a safe bet in this rapidly evolving field. But it's not just about holding on to the stock. Remember that workforce growth we talked about?
I mean, that 31% jump, the one according to LinkedIn.
Exactly. They're aggressively expanding, right, their operations. It indicates they anticipate, continued growth and demand.
Yeah.
It's one thing to ride a wave of success, but NVIDIA seems to be, building their own surfboard.
So we've got sky-high stock prices, we've got bipartisan political backing, and a company laser-focused on growth. It seems like everyone's betting on NVIDIA's continued success. But as with any investment, especially in the tech world, there are always risks. What could derail NVIDIA's upward trajectory? What could go wrong?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? While the current outlook is, I'd say, overwhelmingly positive, analysts are giving it a 93% buy rating. It's crucial to look at the potential downsides. One word: competition.
Ah, yes. The tech world. It's rarely a one-horse race for long. Who are the main contenders we're talking about here? The ones trying to chip away at NVIDIA's dominance?
AMD is the most prominent one to watch, I think. They're aggressively developing their own line of GPUs.
Yeah.
Specifically designed for those AI applications. And they've had some notable wins recently, securing partnerships,
Yeah.
with major cloud providers.
So the competition is heating up. What does that mean for NVIDIA in the long run?
It means they can't get complacent. They need to keep innovating, keep pushing those boundaries of what's possible with AI hardware if they want to maintain that edge. And then there's the elephant in the room,
Go on.
valuation.
You mean the concern that NVIDIA's stock price might be getting, I don't know, a little ahead of itself? That it's gotten inflated by all this hype?
Exactly. While their performance has been, stellar, there's always that risk of a correction. Especially in a market as volatile as tech, investors might start questioning whether the current valuation is justified by the company's actual earnings, their future prospects.
So are we looking at a potential bubble that's about to burst?
Not necessarily. It's more about finding that sustainable balance, I think. NVIDIA needs to demonstrate that its growth trajectory, that it can justify its current valuation. Otherwise, investors, they might start looking elsewhere. The next big thing, this isn't to say that NVIDIA is a bad investment or anything. It simply highlights the importance of approaching any investment with, how do I put it, with a healthy dose of caution, a balanced perspective.
Don't get blinded by the shiny stock price, right? It's important to look beyond the hype and consider both the opportunities, as you said, and those potential risks.
Absolutely. Informed decisions, they're made by understanding the full picture, not just, focusing on the positive aspects.
Speaking of the future, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding NVIDIA's next big, I don't know, gamble, their new Blackwell platform. What's the story there?
Yeah.
What makes Blackwell so significant, and why should we care? So fill us in. What is Blackwell? What makes it so, I don't know, revolutionary?
So Blackwell, it's essentially NVIDIA's next generation, right, of GPU architecture. And if the rumors are true, this thing is going to be a game changer.
Really?
Oh, yeah. In terms of processing power, efficiency,
Yeah.
we're talking potentially an exponential leap forward in AI capabilities,
Oh,
even
man.
compared to their current, top-of-the-line offerings.
Okay, so bigger, faster, stronger, that's always exciting in the tech world.
Right.
But what does that actually translate to? In practical terms, I mean. What will Blackwell enable us to do that we can't do now?
That's where it gets really interesting. Imagine tackling even more complex AI problems,
Yeah.
like developing even more sophisticated language models, accelerating drug discovery, or even, creating those realistic virtual worlds
Okay, yeah.
with complex physics, AI interactions, and not just doing it faster, but also more efficiently,
Right.
which is crucial as, the energy consumption of AI becomes a growing concern.
Absolutely. So Blackwell could potentially unlock, like, a whole new realm of possibilities for AI applications across every industry, really. It sounds like NVIDIA is banking on this being their next big win, solidifying their dominance in the field. But you did use the word gamble earlier.
Right.
What are the risks? I mean, what could go wrong?
You're right to point that out. It is a gamble, even for a company like NVIDIA.
Uh,
Firstly, there's always the challenge of execution.
yeah.
Developing and launching a new platform as complex as this. It's
Okay.
a massive undertaking.
Right.
There's no guarantee, right, it'll live up to the hype
Yeah.
or meet those ambitious timelines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Secondly, you got to remember, the competitive landscape is constantly shifting. AMD isn't standing still,
True. True.
and there's always the possibility of a new player emerging with some disruptive technology.
That's true. That's true. Happens all the time.
And let's not forget the ever-present possibility that, completely different approach to AI processing might just, emerge.
Yeah. Making everything we know, like, obsolete.
Exactly. Rendering even Blackwell somewhat obsolete.
So, in the world of technology, no guarantees. What seems revolutionary today could be old news tomorrow. Where does this leave us? What are the key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind as they, follow NVIDIA's journey?
I think the most important takeaway here is that AI, this world of AI, it's incredibly dynamic, constantly evolving. NVIDIA's success, it's impressive, but it doesn't make them, invincible.
Right, right.
Blackwell represents a huge opportunity and a significant risk.
So it's a question of, I don't know, balance.
Right, and paying attention to how it unfolds, watching the competition, the broader trends, it's going to be crucial for anyone really interested in this field.
So keep an eye on Blackwell, watch the competition closely, and don't be afraid to question the hype.
Exactly.
Great advice. We've gone from record-breaking stock prices to, like, the intricacies of AI hardware and the potential of this, game-changing platform. It's been quite a deep dive, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And as with all our deep dives, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking those critical questions.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy listening.